Guys, it's Ricky, and on this particular episode I wanted to show that false prophets don't change. They only wax worse, as the Bible actually put it.
Who's the biggest failure in the Bible? God is. What you say?
Kenneth Copeland went and preached this idea that God was a failure. Now, that particular message, it became very popular at a certain period, as a matter of fact. If you try to think as far back as about 10 years ago, you know, like roughly about 2013, 2012, there was a video that was very popular back then.
You know, everybody asks you, say, who's the biggest failure? They say, Judas. Somebody else will say, no, I believe it's Adam. Well, how about the devil? He's the most consistent failure.
Okay.
But he's not the biggest in terms of material failure and so forth. Biggest one in the whole Bible is God. Oh, what? Don't you turn that set off. You listen to it. I told you now, you sit still a minute. You know me well enough to know I wouldn't tell something I can't prove in the Bible.
Where Kenneth Copeland claimed that God was the biggest failure in the garden, right? Now, you would think, okay, he probably stopped teaching that and he kind of like outgrew that idea or that thinking. You would be wrong. He still believes it. He still believes that God is the biggest failure. So recently we've been talking about Prophet Makandi was saying that he has more gifts than God, and he doubled down. I had recorded the video reaction to his response to everybody reacting on that thing. Unfortunately, I deleted it by mistake, so I no longer have it. And so you never got to see it. But I wanted to repeat that. He didn't just preach that. He doubled down on teaching that he had more gifts than God. The same way, Kenneth Copeland didn't just teach that God is the biggest failure, bigger than Satan, he said. He actually doubled down on that teaching as well when he went to Nigeria about 2 years ago.
Who was the biggest loser? Satan? No. God. God lost the woman he created with his own hands. God had given Adam absolute authority over this planet, and his own created son committed high treason and bowed his knee to the devil, and the devil took over.
2021. So this is roughly like 10 years later, and he's still preaching the same thing that he preached. So you'd remember that when we spoke about that pastor who married a second wife, the same guy who was feeding church members red eggs and doing whatnot. Yeah, that guy, he got married to a second wife, right? And I explained, you could see in his doctrine that he is a bit fouled up. Not a bit. He is extremely fouled up. Even the guy who was spraying people with doom, if you listen to the interview that he did with SABC, you can hear he's fouled up. His head scrambled. He's not thinking straight. It's like he's not well, basically. Theologically, not well. Just to be very clear, theologically, he does not make sense, because they don't make sense. They only get worse. This video is a reminder. When you are waiting for a false prophet to get it right, you will only wait for your doom and time to go to hell. Kenneth Copeland, 10 years later, after being rebuked about this doctrine that God is a failure, he's still teaching it. Prophet Makandiwa, after teaching all those things, there's another video that I said I wanted to make. I keep forgetting to make it, where he preached something that was worse than saying he had more gifts than God. He didn't stop teaching that. He doubled down. 5-6 years later, he's teaching something even worse. Still, this was from the particular video I'm talking about, I think it's from 2016 or so. So from 5 years ago, he was doing this type of stuff or teaching heresies. Now he's still doing the same thing. They don't get better. False prophets only get worse. The one who must get better is you. You must develop ears to hear so that you will depart from their midst, lest they defile you. It's Ricky. Let this be a warning for those people that decide to close their ears. These people don't get better, they get worse.